dum 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 dum
Space between, space between, space between. Space between.
Yo!
Hello.
What's going on? This is the Space Between podcast where we talk about the space between life and art, passion and business, what's happening now, and what the fuck is happening next. It's Pat Shand.
I'm Amy Shand.
And we have guests in this motherfucker right here. And just to establish it real quick for the live stream going on, because those listening, you have no problems. Those on the fucking YouTube video, you see what's going on already. Those on the live stream, there's two videos going on. There's this one you see that I'm pointing at back and forth. We're going back to back. I'm going back to back. And then over there, we have... I'll even do a little switch. We have Smiley Chris.
Hey.
Hey,
guys.
So in our shot, I'm going to introduce a longtime friend of mine. This is Mr. Antoine.
Howdy ho.
And he came through with Chris today, who's our special guest, because he has a lot going on right now. But hey, this is Smiley Chris, who you might know online now as the Flat Earth rapper.
Most recently,
How's it
starring-
going, guys? Smiley Chris here.
So I'll get into what's happening now real quick, but then I want to dial back, and talk about like our friendship, our journey together, and then go a bit more deep into what's happening now,
Cool.
But for those who are aware, Logan Paul put out a documentary called Flat Earth to the Edge and Back. Now, just gonna throw it out there. Your boy is not a flat earther. Amy, my wife, not a flat earther.
Not.
But so this isn't like if you're afraid that this is gonna be a podcast trying to convert those to flat earth, no, we're just talking about shit.
Yeah, we don't convert. We just converse.
We think the shit.
We
Bars.
got some questions. I hope you got some
Right,
questions.
right.
We think
Give
the
me what
shit
I got.
is fucking round and juicy to me, yo. But we have your boy Smiley Chris here, was on that documentary, and had a flat earth rap. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but during the video, at some point, I'm going to ask you to spit some bars.
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, cool.
He was born ready.
Yeah, because I always see.
That's why I write the bars, so I could share them.
There we go. Yeah,
That's my way of getting the message out. I'm not the best speaker, but
maybe we should make every guest going forward spit bars, because that's what
they got the
Sway
skill.
does.
Let them do it.
But he's a musician, so
Exactly.
Got
So
it.
it actually works this time. Actually, maybe we'll have a flat earth rap battle. Who knows?
Right? If you find some
Logan
more.
Paul against.
Smiling against me, I'm like, the shit
Yo,
is
you got the
round.
skills, Pat.
It's super
Can't act like you don't got the
round.
skills.
Speaking of
Pretty greasy
history,
as gravy
you
on
guys
this.
didn't you guys used to make music together?
Yeah.
Briefly
Yeah,
when
we
you
got
guys
some
were kids. 'Cause
incredible tracks.
these
They're
guys
called
are
the
like-
Incredible Team.
all from the same street in the same town, so they grew up together.
It's a fact. Yeah.
Pat was like one of the fastest rhyme writers I know.
Yeah. I used to just write so many fucking bars, yo. I would be in Chris's studio, which was, kudos to you. You took a garage and turned it into a real functioning studio where you had people come down and they paid you for you to record it and produce them.
Yeah.
And
Good times at what's good.
yeah, that to me was like, at that time, more than anything, like a home away from home. Like I would go there and I would be up in there when you weren't even there. I would be just writing, recording, jerking off a little bit, writing.
I hope not.
What?
I hope not.
That's cool, nice, man.
Well, that's cool. He provided you like a safe space to do creative.
Not for
work.
that.
Probably
That's
Creative
so
work,
many,
I
right?
said.
A
Creative
safe
work,
place to chill.
Yeah.
To
To
wake
write
up-
bars only.
to wank if you war.
And let out all your emotions, Just let it all out.
Let out all your
Scream
stress,
it out, rap
you
it
know?
out, whatever.
We have been making music together since. Wow, I maybe
You might have
when we
been
were like-
before high school. when
Oh,
you
it was way
started.
before high school.
Yeah.
Way
I
before
was in
high
high
school.
school.
I was I think that I might have been in 7th grade, dude.
I believe
Because
it.
you were
I
4
believe
years
it.
older than me.
Yeah.
And I just remember one day we just decided to make a rap, and our first one was Three Little White Thugs. And I mean, I still remember. It goes, Three little white thugs, got each other's backs, living in a ghetto, don't get assault track. You know, when a gang war, you got to bust a cap. You mess with one of us,
you falling in the trap.
Yo, boom, boom. So
That's really funny.
yeah, I mean, we know the shit.
That's the original track. Yeah, it's the first track.
And yeah, I mean, it's cool to bring you into this group, Amy, because like I've known these guys for my entire life, and to be able to bring a fucking dime piece back from San Diego as my soulmate, you know, it's pretty great.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you guys
really
are lucky
nice
to have
know
each
you
other,
guys.
you know?
Yeah, it's really nice to know you guys. Pat has a good group of friends. So.
Definitely. So back when we were making that music, you were, of the lot of us, you were always a bit more political. I mean, I think like you would make it was more when you went off to college, you started to make songs that were like about something, right?
Yeah.
Like I was making like more emo songs, and Bri was
Screamo.
making Screamo for sure. Bri was making songs about like not fitting in and like faith, and you were making songs about things that you felt were wrong in the world. And I remember for a time you and I had shared views on what we thought was wrong in the world.
Yeah,
Well,
Bush.
yeah, for sure.
Both agreed on Bush was definitely wrong for the world. and
Absolutely.
messing up everything.
You've what I've noticed, like the traction of your political journey, you've kind of like gone back and forth from certain things. Like you were you went into college as a Republican, had your views changed, and you became you became then probably more liberal than I am at all, or ever have been.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely on
like
one point.
I remember like I remember sitting with you watching Michael Moore's Sicko. Do you know the story?
I did a college presentation on Michael Moore's, was it Fahrenheit 9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah, I presented it to like the school basically.
Yeah.
I organized the whole presentation before the election,
Yeah.
and I guess I was trying to keep
Like in
Bush
the
from getting
auditorium?
reelected. I guess, and I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
I think he got reelected.
No, he did get reelected for sure. Yeah. he definitely
But I
got.
don't think it worked, he said.
Yeah.
That was
Fucking presentation.
I guess it would have been like
thought.
2004 or something, but I don't know.
You know, it was, and
Yeah.
it was so
Bush,
frustrating.
Who did he go
'cause
against? Bush versus
It was Bush versus Kerry.
Kerry. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
yeah,
so.
See, they're
yeah.
both in the same club. They were both in Skull and Bones, you know. So it was basically
Wait,
scripted.
whoa,
It was basically a
Whoa,
scripted
whoa,
election.
whoa. Let's dial back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that shit, but
Yeah.
first. What was so frustrating for me then was that I was making these anti-Bush songs with you, but I wasn't able to fucking vote, bro. You know, like I was too young, man. I was 17 years old. Like that was my last time that I was able to vote, and I gotta say, got a pretty good track record for voting. You know, I voted 3 times since then, and all but one my guy got in. You know.
Wow.
Barack! And then, unfortunately,
The
for
way
me,
you say it. It took me like 2.5 seconds to figure out the fuck you were saying.
Barack!
Yeah.
But yo, you know,
That's awesome, though.
but yeah, you were super left leaning, and I mean, my journey with you is like, I felt that we were kind of kindred.
Well, I was
in that
big
way.
anti-war. You know, that was the big thing with me. I was big anti-war.
Not just anti-war though.
And-
Just take a
Okay.
second. Fucking Sicko, dude. We watched Michael Moore's documentary about the lack of universal health care in America. And dude, I don't know if I ever told you this. I was sitting next to you, right? You made a sound. I, for a split second, thought, oh, Chris is dying. You literally... I looked over. You were literally bent over sobbing.
Well, Michael Moore is a
Things
master
like that,
at his craft.
That's what I was
you know?
just gonna say.
He's amazing.
When people make movies like that, it's their point and their goal to wrench your heart.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And so if he gets people to that point, did what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
that's the work of art or whatever that he made, you know, that was his goal in mind. So I totally know how you feel, because I watch documentaries about, like, you know, injustice, you know, about people getting locked up that were innocent, and then 10 years later, you know, DNA proves them innocent and stuff like that. And it's so sad to watch. It's just like, what the fuck, you know? It makes you angry.
Definitely, yeah.
And it makes you want to do something, you know? So I know how you feel, because I feel very strongly about things, like, very quickly all the time. So
I mean, I 100% agree, and that leads me that gives me a core of, I still think I understand your core. I think, you know, and that's why, like,
I want it to be good for everybody at the end of the day, you know?
I think you do, and, like, I just, like, our conversation has always been that we disagree dramatically on what we think is best for everyone, you know? But, so, that's all to say, like, going into this, like, dude, I know that we're not going to change your mind. And that's not the intention
and I'm not
of this.
anticipating changing your mind on the shape of the earth.
Yeah.
Because, like Mike said in the film, you haven't seen what I've seen. But I just haven't seen the edge. I haven't seen the edge. But I've seen a lot of documentaries, and I've spent almost 2.5 years looking into it. Yeah. So I'm kind of convinced that we're not on a spinning water ball. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm convinced.
Well,
but I'll give you the arguments for...
Here's one thing I'll say, okay? One thing that I think doesn't do your cause justice, right? I mean, and plus, as someone who, like, to me, I know that motherfucker's round, you know? But to you, I think that you probably know that it's flat,
not
right?
a ball, a spinning water ball.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that it's not a spinning water ball traveling through space at infinite speeds.
Okay, so that's... I think that if you phrased it a bit more like Amy just did, that you're not sure about it, that, I think, because, like, here's the thing.
And you know how Logan Paul did say he doesn't think the Earth exists at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that softened the blow of the whole documentary to me. You know,
that was a good ending, because it's like...
The Earth doesn't exist. The Earth doesn't exist.
It kind of reminds me of, like, when people do the flying.
Maybe if we look into it deeper, we might find out that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
After all, I don't know.
It's like, what is existence after all?
Exactly.
It's the Matrix, you know?
Like,
hey, I'm open to it.
I did like that ending.
So, what I would say is this. When you say shit like spinning water ball, that makes me think, like, when vegans compare eating cows to eating cats. I know what they mean, but we who eat meat, we're not going to see it that way. We separate cats from the meat that we eat. We separate dogs from meat that we eat.
Yeah.
That argument doesn't help them, right? It alienates them from the people that they're trying to convince. So when you say shit like spinning water ball,
but to me it feels like such a good argument, you know, because I try to picture it in my head, and then, you know, I've seen like a 3D rendering of it, and it's just like, wow, it looks really like unbelievable, like, you know, like just seeing the water manipulate, and, you know, that's not how the ocean works and whatnot, you know?
I mean, I'll say this, right? Have you ever climbed on top of a mountain and, like, looked out at the world?
When I was in Colorado, I climbed up, you know, somewhat of a mountain, not like one of the biggest ones in the world and whatnot, you know. I was at the Garden of the Gods, or Valley of the Gods.
Like,
you know, I climbed up something when really I could have just drove the car around a little bit and I wouldn't have had to climb. You know.
Like, dude, like, to me, when you say that seeing the Earth looks unbelievable, when I looked out at so much of the world from that high, it looked unbelievable to me, and I was seeing with my eyes.
No, you went up a mountain?
Yeah, I went up a mountain twice, dude.
Which one?
Fucking, it's upstate. It's by Mohawk Mountain House. They have a big giant mountain.
Yeah,
climbed it, looked out, and
why haven't you taken me there?
I don't know. Why haven't you taken me there? The only camping we did was at the preserves.
I mean, that's where you go to fucking twist the drill, you know? But, like, it looks like a beautiful painting, you know?
Yeah.
It looks like an artist made it, you know? So,
Exactly.
But it's what I'm seeing with my eyes, though, too, you know? And the truth is, like, we'll get into, like, the logistics of how you think it happens, but I do want to explore a bit of the core of what I think that conspiracy does, and what I think this kind of thing, like why I think that we can't like debate about it, because what we consider facts are different things. Like we can't even agree on the basis of facts to use. So I do want to say that, like, again, we're not starting this to change any points of view. We're just delving into a bit about it, and because there are so many questions that I get when I see people talking about it, because it's cropped up in conversation more than it has now than it has in the past, for sure.
Definitely, it seems like it's exponentially growing in interest.
Yeah, and like
people are looking into it more than ever, I guess.
Honestly, like as far as like some of the conspiracies that you believed, I gotta say, I remember you said to me that you like warned me like, oh, when you look at my Twitter, it's gonna be kind of crazy, and you were talking about flat Earth. Like that's when you first started.
Yeah, because I was starting to like flat Earth videos,
yes.
and anything I liked on YouTube would automatically post to Twitter.
Yeah, and dude, like honestly, there have been conspiracies that you believed that I thought were actively harmful. This, I think, is like, I mean, my first reaction is that it's like just like a sillier thing than those things.
Yeah.
But like, I want to get into why it's important to you, but
that's cool.
But like,
yeah, I wish it wasn't so important, but it's like a basic thing, it's like a basic fact, basic truth or a basic premise of everything else. You know what I mean?
Well, I think I know what you're getting at, because
I have a question.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so to me, with the flat Earth community, and like you come out of the flat Earth closet and stuff, it has become sort of somewhat like a religion with like, I guess, like a story, like an explanation for a big question, I guess. There wasn't really a question, it was more of like a truth that is now questioned. But like I feel that religion of any kind, since the beginning of time, has been humans trying to explain things that they feel are unbelievable or unexplainable. But when I hear you speak about it, I feel, and if this is wrong, tell me, it's not sort of a trying to understand like the makings of the world and in like a religious sense. More to you, maybe it's you're very like concerned with the idea that maybe you've been lied to by the government and teachers and everyone since your childhood. Like that's the biggest thing that I've seen on the documentary and stuff like that, is that it's because like when I read about witchcraft and stuff, it's like, why do flowers bloom? Why does the sun come out and this and that? But to you, it's like, why were we lied to? What's the truth? Is that a common theme when you guys are like talking to each other? Like you feel like everyone is against you guys for whatever reason? Because when pictures and facts and stuff are presented to you, not you, because I didn't see it, but in the videos, like flat Earth people would say like, oh, well, that's fabricated and this and that. It's very, very strong inkling and a very strong belief to you guys that you're being lied to. Is that like a strong theme in the flat Earth society more so than
you mentioned flat Earth society
and stuff?
Flat Earth society to me is like controlled opposition or disinfo campaign to make flat Earth seem ridiculous. Flat Earth society thinks that we're traveling up at like 9 miles an hour up into space. Me, I don't think the Earth is moving at all. Whatever the Earth is, I consider it like a realm. That's something maybe you could relate to with the continuity in different books and stuff. And maybe like this is, I don't know, maybe like and then there's maybe different levels, and you elevate. But like I don't know if there's an end to the Earth or not. I don't think there's an edge, and hey, maybe, and if there is, I really don't think there's an edge.
Well, hold on, just to, because I think that's a good point though. Is part of your passion the idea?
I might not have answered your question yet.
No, Well,
Yeah.
I understand kind of where you're going, though, so I do want to hear the end of what you had to say.
Yeah, but like more is like is a kernel of your passion that you feel that you've been lied to.
Definitely. Yeah.
And is that because you feel like they just don't have
It's like
the
the
right
only thing I
answers,
know.
or
The
they're
only
trying
thing
to
I
hide
know is that
something?
we've been lied to.
Yeah.
You know.
In other ways, is what you're saying, so that.
Well, many ways, yeah.
Right,
many
so
ways,
that why wouldn't they be lying about this, sort of?
I guess so, but yeah, it's just included in
They
with
being
the
like
other
the government
lies.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's included with the other lies.
Because I've
But it's like a primary lie, you know, because like at the end of the day, I feel like we're created by God, you know, and the globe model is, I guess people could say it's like a way to hide God and just say, oh, we just appeared out of nowhere and with a big bang, and now we're just spinning infinitely through the universe.
I'm not like too familiar with the Bible. I mean, I went to church and I read parts of it and stuff, but does it say anything about the shape of the earth or anything in the
Yeah, there's a couple
Bible?
of flat earth references.
Okay.
Like I'd say at least 20, maybe
so it's
40.
in line with like Christianity?
Yeah, a lot of
and,
ancient teachings and a lot of ancient documents have the flat earth model.
and this is in the documentaries that you watched?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like the history of the flat earth is a legit one to check out.
All right.
200 proofs. That went on a spinning ball is a legit one to check out. Logan Paul's is not a legit one to really check
That's
out.
more
but,
of a comedic film.
yeah, definitely. It's a movie.
It's
He called it a
more
movie,
his
but he told
style.
us it was going to be a documentary, which is why I was so excited.
I mean,
that
he bore at
somebody
you,
with
you know?
20, almost
He
20
definitely
million
bore at it,
subscribers
yeah.
was going to be giving our
'Cause you
proofs
felt
and
tricked,
our
yeah.
best arguments, you know, for the flat earth to the world, you know?
Well, I have a point that I want to get to about Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to that in a second. But what I wanted to bring up that you're saying is that when you first told me that when you came out of the flat earth closet, right? I remember.
Was it at Anthony's birthday or was it?
Yes, it was. It was
before?
at this gentleman right here.
Yeah, cool.
It was at his birthday. You know.
Featured on another podcast.
I actually felt relieved when you told me, like, wow, that's not one of your like wildest conspiracies or whatever.
Yeah, no, because like here's the thing, like,
and you're more open to hearing about it and whatnot.
I don't for a second believe what you believe about this,
Yeah.
but like when I hear you talking about this, I don't think this is a dangerous kind of thought. Like when
You don't think it's a dangerous call? Yeah.
no,
Like maybe like anti-vax might be more dangerous.
I think
or-
anti-vax is
Absolutely.
dangerous. Yeah.
So, yeah. See.
However, what scares me even more was when you were watching so many videos about things that that certain politicians were involved in and doing that I almost felt like the right had they had done to you what you thought that the government as a whole was doing. I felt that extreme conservatives had kind of hypnotized you through fear, interfering people who you didn't need to fear, right? And
well, that's politics. You know, that's
Yeah.
what it seems like politics is.
Very manipulative.
Yeah, they get people looking like Nazis. They get people looking like terrorists when really they're just people, and you know,
and
with ideas and
what I would say to
opinions.
you though is like, it did scare me to see you with those kind of videos and like just like knowing how often you were watching them. You know,
every time I hit like, boom,
yeah.
Twitter.
This guy right here,
Hey guys, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should come in the frame over there.
Steve Lightman
That one's
comments.
the full one, though, right?
Yeah, because
I don't even know if it's still recording, but you know, I'm not sure.
Steve, for those who are watching the video now, we have two
Steve's in it?
cameras. Yeah, Steve Lightman. We have two cameras. We have one on us, and this is me, Amy, and Antoine, and the other camera is Smiley Chris.
You think I can scoot in or no?
No,
And then scoot this over?
No, because most people are going to see the final product.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, cool.
Oh, that's right. You're putting it together.
Yeah. So, what you
Can
said
they
to
hear?
me?
Can they hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
What you said to me when you first were talking about it was that it brought you closer to God, and I was like, "That's interesting."
flat
That's,
earth model,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, I never would have understood why, but you broke it down for me, and it
Just
was
now or at the party?
at the party.
Yeah, at the party.
It was so much different than I thought it was going to be, you know. And I I'm gonna try to tell you what I remember you said, okay? And then you correct me,
Mm-hmm.
because like it sounded much more like a dark fantasy story in my head than it sounded like a conspiracy theory, you know? And like I do believe it is a conspiracy theory, but I believe that this one specifically is so rooted in religion that I think that that's part of why it's so important to you too. Because like, I mean, you growing up were super faith-based, you know? And then in college years, you kind of went away from that. And I think the idea of like people who are like quote unquote born again are always the most religious people you'll ever meet. That they're so always talking about God. Yeah. So what my interpretation of this was that since you were tying this to your beliefs, right? That made me think, oh yeah, so it's kind of like being born again in that way, you know? All right, so you believe, right?
Definitely like a big revelation, you know what I mean? Like,
no pun intended, right? That that the Earth is flat, and that there were levels under it, right? I mean, maybe your point of view has changed since then, right? But you said that.
Yeah, it's probably when I was going into the cosmic egg theory and whatnot.
I believe that you thought that there were demons under it that we interpreted as aliens and like UFO type shit.
Yeah. Well, this is like part of the cosmic egg theory, where basically you have the North Pole in the center, and then there's like the Garden of Eden area, you know, where like Mercury is. This is like a really complicated theory, but it like incorporates a lot of ancient scriptures and a lot of ancient teachings from all cultures of the world.
Oh boy.
And you know, it's called what's it called? Synchronism, I think. Synchronism. Okay. And but yeah, basically I think there's like 7 levels below, 7 levels above, and rings, like basically rings. And maybe Mars might be the sun for lands beyond Antarctica, maybe. But
all right, so
you know, it's all very theoretical. I'm sure I told you then too. It was very theoretical.
What I want to kind of hone in on here, right, is when you say that spitting water balls sounds crazy, and then tell me this Lord of the Rings shit, dude. Like that, well, I mean, like you know what I mean?
Theory, yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing is like if you put theory, different wordage on something, it sounds crazy to anyone. Like.
Yeah, like you don't think you live on a spinning water ball as that, you know, if you think about the concept, you know, a ball with water sticking all around it.
I mean,
except for the top and the bottom.
I do though.
Traveling through the universe around the sun. You know, if you look at the models and stuff of the sun moving, then the Earth moving around the sun, and then the moon moving around the Earth, and we only see one face of the moon all the time.
Yeah.
It's so like, it's kind of fantastical when you look into it.
With like the astrologers and scientists in history that like have made these discoveries that are like universal truths now in textbooks and stuff about, you know, the solar system and you know, the shape and sizes of different planets. Do you think that they were wrong, or do you think that they were like maliciously not telling the truth for whatever reason about what they were discovering?
Yeah, like the globe model like really started getting pushed with the Royal Society in England back in like the 1500s.
So you think there was like an agenda behind?
Yeah, I mean, I actually looked into Newton's Principia of Physics, and I read a couple pages of it. Yeah. And the first couple pages, I see him saying, assuming the Earth is a globe, there needs to be a force pulling everything into it, and that force is gravity. Yeah. You know, that was basically the whole birth of gravity from that Principia of, you know, and he said assuming that we're on a ball.
But
you know?
don't you...
And that's what, like, everything's based off of gravity and the gravitational pull. And then
I would think that when he said assuming, he would mean like based on all of the scientific like research that I've done in the last 10 years, like assuming, like
before that,
like in conclusion,
right? No, yeah, because that is just like scientific language.
Exactly, that's like what you write in an article.
Yeah, like he was wondering why the apple fell this way, not another way. If we're on a ball, but if we're just on a flat table,
right.
Things are going to fall down if they're heavier than the air around them. You know, that's the way I think of it. I'm like really simple. Like learning all this stuff made me stupid. Not really stupid, but like,
so
simpler,
overwhelmed that you just
simpler.
If I were malicious,
You know?
right?
Yeah.
I was cutting up clips, I would use that quote as a title, you know?
I know, but like that's the way I really
it's fucking
see it.
like DJ Vlad does
just
shit,
simple
you know?
stuff, like the kid in the Logan Paul documentary said, I think it's flat because if we were on a ball, we'd be falling off of it. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. No, because the ball is so big, and we're so small in comparison that we wouldn't, right?
But also another, like what Pat was saying earlier about one of the biggest arguments maybe against you guys is what some of the people say. Like the girls from Australia in the Logan Paul video.
They were actors though. They were hired actors.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that. Because
Yeah,
the
I
thing
was
she said
wondering.
about
Casey
the
Boone,
eyes
Casey Boone, you could check her
being
Instagram.
round, the eyes,
Yeah.
that was the dumbest thing I'd ever fucking heard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I would
But
like,
I do actually feel like I heard that as an argument.
no,
so to
I'm
be
sure,
honest,
Yeah.
you know, but that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
It's like
I
when
didn't
people
really
argue
necessarily
like
believe
that,
Yeah.
it's like, come on.
Yeah, because you could basically, BS anybody. Oh, you see a curve, that's because your eyes are curved.
Exactly. That was
So,
her
yeah, you
argument,
could-
and I'm
yes,
thinking,
yeah.
really? But that they were
I say
paid
you
actors.
see a
was
curve because
different.
the window has a curve to it in the plane. If you do see a curve.
Well-
But even Neil deGrasse says you can't really see the curve until you're above 50,000 feet. And most planes don't go that high, right, Tom?
No, 30,000.
See? Yeah.
We have a plane
So
expert.
Neil deGrasse even says
We
you
got an
gotta get at
airline
least
worker
50.
here.
We have Zach
to see the
O'Connor in
curve.
the chat. Hey, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
I want to ask too. Stephen Lightman says, "Oy vey, I love you and the missus and that cute guy in the hat.
Hey,
but this
how
is
you
too
doing?"
quick for me." Well, Steve, if you're still,
He's probably talking about you, Twan. You're the
that's
one
what I'm
in
wondering.
frame.
Steve, if you're still in the chat, is the cute guy Chris or is
He
it
can't
Twan?
see me. He
The one
can't
in
see
your
me.
chat.
You see
You
Oh,
Twan
boy.
chilling with the
can't
cat.
see Chris.
It's Wesley.
Oh boy.
It's
You
the
seeing this
housing
young boy
Wesley.
with the cat?
It's Wesley.
So yeah, I'm not trying to do any gotcha stuff here. You know.
No,
Yeah.
no derailing
Yeah,
or anything
no.
like
Give me
that.
what you
I'm
got.
just
Give me what you
curious.
got. Yeah, I'll give you what I got.
Well, all right. So, what I would ask first is just because I've seen this, you have a pretty obsessive personality, right?
Same.
You
As do you.
very much
with
very
things
much.
that you're interested in.
Yes, very much. But you
Mr. Goosebumps, Lion King.
100%. We are similar in that way. But what I want to ask you is
Got it from you. No.
as your friend, right? What concerns me about the flat Earth thing is
I know it's very encompassing.
how many hours of conspiracy theory videos do you think that you watch per week?
Conspiracy theory videos.
Like documentaries.
Not that many documentaries because you just don't see it. But I do, people doing research online,
Yeah.
looking through old books and screenshot, screen casting it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean,
hours and hours, probably at least a day,
that's what I mean.
full day.
When I say conspiracy theories,
YouTube videos.
Yeah,
YouTube
I'm not
At
trying to
least
undercut
a
it.
full day of my life.
right? So
week.
a full day, you think?
Yeah,
It's
probably.
I don't mean to undercut it by saying conspiracy theories, but I think that you
Yeah,
embrace the idea that they are conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah, video,
right?
people doing
It is a
research per se.
conspiracy, technically.
Yeah, it is.
But
Like,
like a little
most of the
devil's
stuff is
advocate
definitely
here.
alternative news.
I mean, I
alternative to the
spend
mainstream
just
news.
as much time looking up mugshots and watching killer documentaries a
Yeah.
week. So, and I'm, that's not even conspiracy. That's just another something that I'm
something
obsessed
you're interested
with.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, something very interesting.
and I think there's a lot to what you were saying too about thinking that you've been lied to, because there's an overlap in your two interests. Like sometimes the conspiracy theory community, or sometimes the true crime, right? If you go on true crime
I
Reddit,
love
people are
true
trying to
crime
figure shit out all the
conspiracy
time.
so
You
fucking
know,
much.
like there was that whole thing.
This.
There's that whole
blah,
thing
blah.
about the making of a murderer, right? Where that guy.
Yeah, I never saw the Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're looking for a good true crime conspiracy, anyone, check out the Natalie Bollinger case. That shit is fucking whack.
Well, hold on.
It was a podcast episode, but I just did a lot of reading about it online. Yo, shit's crazy. All right, go.
Just my point about making a murderer though is that I watched it
I hope I said the right name.
and I'm not really a part of that community. And when I watched it, my thought was, Oh, he did it though. Like the documentary is saying that he didn't do it, but he for sure did it to me.
I did hear that. I heard some, but it makes it look like he didn't in the documentary, which is
yes. So
Michael
but so
Moore,
many people.
I'm sure a lot of
so many people were on board with the idea that he's innocent, and so I do empathize with the idea that.
So many people.
You're taking in all this content, right?
Yeah.
And my fear for you though is that it becomes when you start to think, like say you'll start getting into a new conspiracy, right? If it ties into things that you already believe, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to be more willing to believe that that's true, right? And that's confirmation bias. If I were to search a bunch of left-leaning articles, my newsfeed on Facebook, Twitter is going to become more left-leaning. These corporations will target us based on what we already see, what we already want to hear.
Definitely.
And so my fear with you,
we're very manipulated,
is that you're so desperate that that this is true and that people support you, that you're more willing to believe things that might not be true if it helps this theory, right? Like my thing is that to me, when you show me that Logan Paul video, just like for those watching, before Logan Paul's mocumentary came out, you had footage from your phone where he was filming with you, right? And to me,
full uncut footage.
To me, watching him interact with you, it was so clear that he was trolling you. Like he was acting, like he had on the like playing around with you demeanor that like a high school bully adopts with someone he's fucking around with, and not only with you, with everyone in the clips. Like what really stood out to me was when he was talking to that one guy. I believe he had an Australian accent.
Oh yeah,
and
Flat Earth Man.
Logan Paul says to him, "There's so many words in a row that rhyme, so it makes sense."
Yeah.
Like that to me,
condemnation without investigation is confirmation of your indoctrination.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a good line.
I mean,
it's a bar.
That guy,
he's an awesome singer, and I am highly influenced by him in my rhymes.
But here's the thing, though. When Logan Paul says that, right, he's clearly trolling. Clearly trolling.
Or joking, or being weird, or being a dick.
Because, bullying. To me, just like trying to read him.
We knew he was there to ask questions, and he wasn't on board exactly with Flat Earth, but he was open to it.
He really played it well.
I thought he was open to it.
He gave you guys a platform to actually argue your point in a way that wasn't
so
like
we
what
were
you
there
thought.
with goodwill. Let's say, hey, we'll give you what we got.
It's like when someone goes to a church, like, hey,
us,
I want to be saved, but they don't mean it,
Yeah,
and then
just to make everybody look stupid,
right?
Or something,
and everyone's like, okay,
like Borat
join
coming
us.
in. The way I describe it is Borat came to the Flat Earth
exactly
conference.
what happened with him.
And that's what pissed me off the most about it. Otherwise, like I'm glad to be in it because I think it is like I just think it's like an epic part of YouTube history. Because he really did have a lot of the mainstream.
We were saying you're a big part of the movie,
yeah,
and like without you, he wouldn't have.
Guess,
he wouldn't have had the idea to make that little rap. Both of those, like Flat Earth rapper. That's you. That's your part.
Yeah.
I was surprised that people realized I sounded like Cardi B, even just hearing those little snippets.
I mean that flow has become iconic, and actually,
if you wanted to, I think I said that probably.
Why not now? How about you spit that verse now?
All right, here we go. Neil, I'm gonna explain it as I spit.
No.
Or can I do it after?
Spit it first.
Okay.
And then I'll ask questions. Yeah, because I don't want to become like lecturing.
Yeah. All right. Neil deGrasse can't debate these facts if he wanted to. Earth is flat and stationary, bro. That means it doesn't move. When confronted with the proof, liars get uncomfortable. Cause it's true that the truth can make a liar lose his cool. When Kyrie Irving comes to school, science teachers run away. Flat Earth's got 200 proofs that they're afraid to debate. When he says it to their face that their NASA pics are fake, the expressions that they make, always make my day. Yo, NASA's been tricking us all. Gravity isn't a law. Your whole reality's flawed, thinking you spin on a ball. But, yeah, it isn't your fault. You just repeat what you're taught, repeating and teaching your students this small, and they evolve somehow out of nothing at all. Have you ever really questioned the nonsense that you were teaching, or the superstitious pseudoscience you're repeating? Like, we're from a Big Bang. Our ancestors are algae. Water curves to the earth thanks to the magic of gravity. Planes fly in straight lines. Water lies in straight lines. Don't horizon lines form horizontal straight lines? No matter how high, you'll never see a curve. Observe it for yourselves. Look in the flat earth.
All right, so I'm tempted to like spit a round earth bar.
Hey, you got it. If you got it, do it.
But all right, so so when Logan Paul walked up to you, right?
Round as a peach. I'm going to the beach.
Hey.
Oh,
All right,
my
yeah.
God. When Logan Paul
Save
walked up
lives
to you,
Greeks.
and you started to, like, did he ask, like, did you bring up that you rap too? Or, like, how did that happen?
No, I recognized him. It didn't register exactly who he was, but he looked like somebody I knew.
Yeah.
So I started filming him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see him like, I think I know you.
That's right. Yeah. He said,
I think I know you. He had that like look on his face, like,
Yeah.
I think I know you. And he probably recognized me from the HBO documentary or the HBO hit job on Flat Earth of the first conference that I was in. And that got millions of views.
Yeah, because
too.
he probably watched all that shit.
Yeah, he
before
watched a
did this,
couple
yeah.
of
was
the
a
news
World Star, right?
things. Yeah, World Star that you saw me on.
Now,
And, so that got me some recognition.
Would you call yourself a part of the Flat Earth Society, or
No.
is that okay? So that's a different.
That's like a diss.
Okay, so it's
So,
that.
like, when you see
So it's
Logan
a
Paul-
derogatory term
Yeah,
for
yeah,
your group.
yeah.
It's not a separate group. It's just a derogatory term for for what you guys.
Yeah, it's
stand for.
it
So I won't
definitely
say it.
it
I didn't know.
started. It might have started with good intentions, but it definitely got taken over by, I would say, like government agents or disinfo agents. Because no flat earthers that I know,
So just flat earthers.
no flat earthers that I know are on the side of the Flat Earth Society.
Got it.
It's like basically an online troll type of thing. It started out maybe with good intentions, but then it got taken over by like people that want to make Flat Earth look extra stupid. Yeah.
now, what I want to ask you, because like first, like my thing about this with you is I do see it as a conspiracy that is less dangerous than some of the things that we talked about before. Like I think that we generally disagree on probably most conspiracies that you follow. But this one I find less offensive. What I worry about though is this. In my opinion, for society to function, we need experts because we can't know everything.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I need to be able to trust that someone who's going to come take care of our electricity is going to not set our house on fire. Do you know what I mean? And the institution of experts is what keeps the world moving. And for you to be right, that either means one of two things. One thing, it means that millions of people have been lying to the rest of the world for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Or unknowingly lying.
Well, that's the second part.
That's like incorrect. That's
Yeah,
what
teachers.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
they repeat what they were taught.
either millions of people are lying, or millions of people have been lied to and are uninformed, and that there is, I mean, I don't know if this is what you believe, but the only two possible ways is that you might believe that there's a group of people, a smaller group, that still lies, and everyone else is uninformed. But my fear there is that if you either believe that everyone else is either lying or uninformed, what that does is it makes you maybe feel really special because you are one of the only people who sees, right? And I could see that there might be a lore to that, right? That flat earthers...
I mean, it's kind of cool, like, oh man, I woke you up to this, or blah, blah, blah. But, I think we're all special at the end of the day, and, But it's cool having that information, I guess, that nobody else has or whatever,
Well, yeah,
That's like a reason to research it, just to...
do you believe what the guy was, I think, briefly mentioning in the movie about... Because I don't know if it's the same, if flat earthers think Something
ask
about
away,
the
ask away.
snow globe thing about maybe
The firmament.
about
They say the
you know
firmament.
that
That's
movie?
biblical. That's a biblical reference.
So is
And
that?
I think,
do you believe that?
There's,
Is that
there's a
comfortable
decent
for you
chance.
to believe?
There's a decent chance that there's a firmament above us.
And is that
You
means
could
like a
think maybe
puppeteer kind of like all watching every single thing, and so in that case it would be easier for him to watch maybe like a Monopoly board than it would be to watch a circle. You know what I mean? So it makes you feel like more comfortable, like I guess. I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely a good chance that there's like a firmament, like a dome like that, you know.
Right.
I can't confirm or deny, I can't confirm it, but that's a biblical way to put it. And like the stars are supposedly in the firmament, and the planets.
So
and
at
stuff.
this point, do you want somebody to go and find the actual physical proof of the edge of the Earth? Do you think,
I think it would be
gonna
cool,
happen?
definitely cool to explore Antarctica.
Do you want to do that yourself, or you want others to do that?
I'd be open to it. I'd be
Because
open
I
to
feel
it,
like
but
if I felt
I'm not the
as
type
str-
to do like, hey, give me
When-
money, I'm
yeah.
gonna go to Antarctica.
when it comes to aliens and stuff like that, like if I
Hey.
had any sort of inkling of anywhere where they would be, I'd be on my way right now.
beyond Antarctica,
So like if I was you,
beyond Antarctica at the other
let's go
rings,
together,
there
Chris.
might be-
Fuck it.
Let's do it.
Adventure time.
Hey, it'd be
He's
awesome.
instructed.
2K20, let's
Yeah,
fucking
you might
go.
freeze
Oh,
to
sorry,
death,
Leslie, I
but
got too
you never
excited.
know. I don't know what's beyond Antarctica. There could be another sun that goes like triple the speed of our sun. I don't know.
I mean,
It's fantastical stuff. I'm not sure about that, but
it is.
all I know is that I'm 98% sure that we're not on a ball.
That was one of my questions. Is like, how sure are you? Because like my thing is this. Those two things that I was talking about, right? That,
And,
that you either believe that you're.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of evidence, either way.
Yeah,
but there's a good amount of like proofs that water is level,
But here's the thing. Back to the experts thing,
Yeah.
Because if you essentially,
But
I mean,
you're a smart dude. You could look into things, and you could do a scientific test if you wanted to.
I don't think I could though. I think that it's such a large scale.
Could,
that it's
I mean, you
beyond
could
us.
learn it. You could put the time in to learn it, to do it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not really that interested in it.
My thing is like this though. I think that it's beyond us, and it should be. Right? Like, I think that there should be experts designated for this, and I think that if we begin to question these experts, that everything falls apart. Like, because I don't want to live in a world where I believe that the experts are dumb enough to be lied to, or that they're malicious enough to lie, because that to me takes away the idea of any kind of expertise, right? That you essentially. You believe, and not to minimize it, but in my opinion, you believe the content that you found on YouTube rather than what most people would say the experts say, right? Like you would feed more into that.
A lot of the time, global warming. Things like
that to me is scary. That's a bit scary because our world and like the safety and the psychological welfare of our world teeters on believing expertise. Because the truth is, again, like, you say that I'm a smart guy and that I could learn this stuff myself. I don't think that's true.
You might not have the time now, but if you wanted to,
I don't think so. I don't think that, like, I could ever learn what a scientist dedicates their life to. And for me to believe that is either a lie that they designed or a lie that they're buying into. I can't believe that, I can't, because then everything falls apart, dude. Like, it makes me like wonder about you, like, does this, because this essentially, does this lead to other anxieties for you? Like, do you believe that there are lies in other aspects of life? Like, beyond the conspiracies that I know, like, do you trust, like, how
like me, like how I just sold my property?
Yeah.
Like, now I have a big chunk of change that I don't really feel safe keeping in the bank.
I mean, that to me is more feasible than the idea of
It's more common.
of the Earth being flat, for sure,
but
dude.
I'm just saying that, I figure the currency could collapse at any time.
Yeah.
That's like my mindset, that conspiracy mindset.
Yes.
Like, hey, dollar's based off of nothing at the end of the day. Trump could just go on a spending spree and rebuild America, but then the dollar's not going to be worth anything.
Nightmare, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and that could happen any day now, you know, and you know stuff like that, and that might make me want to buy gold. But then gold, like the last 5-6 years, it's been flat. It hasn't gone up at all. You know, the last 5-6 years. Like remember a couple of years ago, I was big on buying gold.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's been flat. You know, so all that investment has just been because of my conspiracy mindset. You know?
I mean,
so that, you know, I could have been in the stock market and riding it high. You know, for the last couple of years. Instead, it's just, you know,
so
like, things
so
like
that is one negative that has affected
you. Negatively influenced, but you know, it is what it is. I am who I am. I've learned what I've learned, and I still think it's true that, you know, the dollar could collapse any day now. But I kind of wish I didn't think that, because then I'd be riding the stock market high. You know, things
what
like
scares
that.
me is this, like,
and you know, I miss out on opportunities because of that, you know, fear or whatever it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
being financially affected is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more worried about like health stuff, because watch this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not even getting into the vaccine stuff, because like I 100% believe that vaccines are great. I think that the anti-vax movement is dangerous. But what I'm talking about here, though, is what scares me about you is that the idea of it going beyond flat Earth, because if you don't trust
there's always
scientists,
no conspiracy. There's
it's
always
true.
another one.
If you don't trust scientists,
I've been looking into history now.
hold on, check this though.
It's interesting. Hey,
Science, right? Science isn't just what's going on with the planet.
Yeah.
Or the planets. Science is also about health in the body. And I think back, like, recently, about a few months ago, Amy was in the hospital and had some pain, and we were trying to figure out why. And we had to trust those doctors, right? Like, we had to, like...
Yeah, definitely when your back's against the wall, you gotta do it.
But
if
what
you
about...
go to the doctor and the doctor's like, hey, I want to put you on this cholesterol medicine or high blood pressure medicine, you know, unless you get healthy by the next appointment, you better get healthy, because that shit's going to keep you addicted for the rest of your life. You're going to be on that medicine for the rest of your life, most likely.
Yeah.
You know, so try to stay away from getting on the pills and things like that as much as possible. You know? You
sound like my dad as far as that goes. But what are you going to say?
I don't...
But I'm actually scared of going to the doctor. I'm just, you know, I'm kind of afraid of getting some bad news or whatever. And I probably haven't gone in like 2.5 years, 3 years.
You gotta let them dig in that ass, man.
Probably. I'm getting that age.
What?
I'm getting that age.
Hold on. I'm about to fucking bend over for them, yo. Like, seriously.
You got it already or no?
No.
Yeah.
But
I feel that...
I'll let you know how it goes.
The flat earthers, or the flat earth idea or theory is more along the lines of religion than science.
It's hard to find atheists in the flat earth movement, but, you know.
And not only that, because he's talking about, you know, like scientists and facts and math and physics and whatnot. And just with the movie that I watched, and also just the one we just watched, Logan Paul. And also, you know, reading about different kinds of religion and practicing witchcraft. Like, if I were to tell you the story of what I believe the creation of the earth was, it's just as nuts as a theory as the earth being flat, you know? Like, any
I'm
religious
interested
story,
in hearing
you know?
I'm very interested in hearing.
Yeah, any religious story is just... I just feel that the flat earthers have come together for whatever reason.
But like, what do you think the mainstream science of the creation of everything is?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
that
like...
you believe, you know, if you believe it's true, like what is it that, you know, you think the scientists say is what happened?
Well, it's not what the scientists say. That's the thing. It's what my, like, religious books say from, like, my tradition of witchcraft, you know? It's not science. So that's
what you believe?
Yeah, it's not science.
Yeah,
so I think that you guys truly believe that, and it doesn't even have to be science. It's just your guys' faith in something, and you guys all have faith in something that's the same and are coming together.
I feel like it's more of a lack of faith in the
people,
ability of nothing to turn into something.
But it has to be faith in the sense that you can't see something and you believe it still.
Yeah, no, that's true. That you
It's like it's a lack of faith in the people around you, but it's faith in the Earth isn't round, you know, and you guys have not found the edge.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, just because it's hard to prove that, you know, like you can't go to a lab and put water to stick to a ball. Because, you know, I mean, the scientific explanation is because the pull of gravity is too strong. So, you know, there's no way to confirm that ourselves, you know? And there's no test that you could really do to confirm that, you know, you have to trust the experts. We have to trust NASA. And when you look into NASA bloopers, you'll be like, no trust in these guys, you know?
I mean, I
Green
think
screen bloopers, CGI, augmented reality. They have things that pop up automatically. You know, there's a lot of bloopers that are like, once you see it, it's like hard to go back.
But I think that what you're saying too is like halfway between what Amy is saying, where it is religious, but you're also like you even in your rap. You challenge scientists, right?
Yeah,
so
Neil deGrasse. And he doesn't want to debate. Like the guy who does 200 proofs that we're not on a spinning ball. They were supposed to have a debate on Joe Rogan.
Well, here's the thing.
Neil deGrasse said, "Sorry, Joe, I don't debate. That's not something I do."
No, I mean, but
he had a shot of putting it to bed. He could have convinced half of the flat earthers that are flat earthers today.
Though. That's the
thing.
He
could have. There was a shot.
Hold on.
He won't take on strong voice in the flat earth.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I agree with Amy, but there's two schools of thought.
Yeah.
One school is just this one idea, and the other is Amy's, which I agree with. The one school of thought is that when you debate someone, you legitimize their point of view. And Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't want to legitimize that. That's not my point of view.
Okay.
I think that Amy and I would agree, and that you can't convince someone of a negative. You can't convince someone who believes in conspiracy theories that those aren't true, because no matter what I'll say, like you had conspiracy theories about Hillary Clinton that I know aren't true, but you would never believe what I'm saying, because you would say to me, "You've been lied to," and I'd say back to you, "No, you've been lied to."
Yeah.
But
it's just like hitting a wall.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to ever debate that. So.
I mean, specific incident, you know, this happened here, you know, maybe it would be able to be confirmed. But overall, the arching conspiracy,
But also this too, like...
That's tough.
With science, right?
Just because we've heard things. I've heard things, you've heard things. You know, that's it. You know, it's really hard to say, this is the truth. You know, and that's the thing with that's what the issue with the news is, and the online news and everything, like... There's a big clampdown going on right now on conspiracies, I'd say. You know, there's a big clampdown coming, and 2019 is the year of the clampdown, it seems.
I've seen that, but...
Like right now, if you do a YouTube search for Flat Earth, you want to see the latest Flat Earth video, you can't find it on YouTube.
Unless it's Logan Paul's.
Yeah, you'll see that. That'll pop up. But since the 15th of March... They disabled the calendar function on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've seen that, and I do think that YouTube is blamed a lot as a corporate entity for legitimizing conspiracy theories by having them on their platform.
Earth. I wouldn't have got the Flat Earth if it wasn't for YouTube.
I know. Yeah. So I think I personally don't mind what YouTube is doing, because
I wish they would just keep it the way they were doing it. But
just like. As your homie.
They want to just keep authoritative sources at the top. Yeah. And Logan Paul at the top. Well, that's not really an authoritative source.
I mean, that's more of a comedy video. Yeah. But just as your friend, I support that, because I could picture a world where you might be a bit happier not thinking this stuff, you know? Like, I wonder, like, here's an interesting... intimate question. Has believing this stuff impeded you romantically? Like, how do you bring up that you believe the earth is flat? Like, is that like date 4? Like if you have sex with someone before you say that might be holding too much information back, dude.
Yeah, she has to be open to it. She has to be open to
He says it like on his side, like she has to be open to it.
Yeah, otherwise she's
not like he's
gotta be open
not
to
like he's nervous that he's immediately gonna get shut down.
Oh, she has to be
like, you know what I mean?
I do.
Possibility. Otherwise, it's not going to
She
really
has
work
to
out,
be ready.
unfortunately.
So I was thinking more the opposite way, like that she would be scared off from you, not that she wouldn't want it, dude, but like, just
I mean, hey, it's not a popular belief still.
When you
still
find,
not a
have
popular
you
belief.
found a girl who's all like, me too?
I've convinced a couple girls.
No.
Oh, no.
But they haven't really done the research.
Not
But
like,
I've convinced them.
not like that.
Yeah.
Like when you say
Just
it,
'cause
just
they
like, oh, I
trust
think
me,
they're
I
at this
guess,
flat.
but-
They're immediately like, oh, me too. Have you seen?
No.
Oh man, that would
Never
be
the
just love
random
at first
encounter
sight,
like that,
wouldn't it?
except at the conferences.
Oh, yeah.
The conferences.
Did you get laid at the conference?
No.
The fuck?
I mean, yeah, were there hot girls there like that?
Not paid
Not
actresses.
paid actresses. There were
That
some
girl
cute
looked like
girls,
young Britney
but-
Spears, the one.
Yeah, but no, not
didn't know
that
she was
hot.
an actress.
I didn't either
I had no
until he
idea.
said that.
But
Yeah,
there were
man.
some cute ones that Smiley approved.
And like, has it
Smiley
caused
approved.
Smiley
Hashtag.
approved cute ones that showed us there.
has it caused any family problems? 'Cause I know that
Yeah, it's tough, man.
because
It's tough.
here's the thing,
But
Bri, like I know your family.
Yeah,
Bri-
Bri told me the other day, like, yo, you lost a lot of like street cred by going the flat Earth route or whatever. You lost a lot of credibility. Yeah.
Well,
You
yeah,
put
because
a lot of
Bri-
your credibility on the line for the flat Earth thing.
Yeah, Bri has some wacky views himself, though. But Bri likes Bri considers himself a scientist. So you guys might like that is a kind of a weird point there because you essentially are saying that he's been tricked too. So how do you deal with that?
He doesn't look into it. He's not interested in it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. People aren't interested in it. They're happy being, believing what they want to believe.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
So
That's
listen,
why I don't hold it against people if they don't want to look into
And
it.
that's kind of why I don't hold it against you either.
Yeah.
Because I look at it as just a different belief
It's
system.
not. I don't
honestly.
recommend it, but I mean, I don't recommend.
But that's
like,
the
hey,
thing that
but
makes me
I kind of
sad.
do. I
Like,
kind
if
of do
it-
recommend it at the end of the day. But
Because it's truth to you.
Yeah,
And you want people to know
yeah,
the truth.
yeah,
But
exactly.
it bums me
but
out
it's,
that
it's not an
unlike
easy road.
religion,
It's definitely
it
not
makes
an
you
easy road to do.
stressed.
Yeah.
It makes you like maybe sad. It makes you angry. Instead
Initially, yeah, it's depressing. For
Right.
the first couple days,
days. I would
it's
think a long
depressing the
time.
first couple days, thinking like, whoa, it's all been a charade. That's all. We've been lied to that deep. Like, holy crap, that's crazy. But it's
Yeah, with
just
the
like,
video,
all
it's like
time
you're
shit's
jerking
straight.
one off,
Wesley's like, that shit.
All right, so
It's not easy. It's
let's wrap this topic. I just want to ask.
Oh, can I challenge Logan Paul?
Yeah. I'll have you do a Logan Paul thing really quick. But first, before that, I just want to say, do you have any final questions for Chris or anything?
I think I got all my questions out. Thank you for being so honest with us and being such a nice guy.
Yeah. Twan,
Appreciate
anything?
you guys.
Good to have
I
you
love
over.
it. Yeah.
Chris, I was gonna ask you, do you feel like now, like that you watch all these documentaries, like, do you feel like sometimes you're like, man, this is just so time consuming, like just like, like spending like all day
Yeah, I mean,
watching
like I wish, sometimes I wish, I'm doing videos on making money or this or that or stocks or whatever. But it is what it is.
Hey,
we
everyone has
choose
their
what to
hobbies.
fill our time with.
Yeah.
Now the Logan Paul thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say exactly what you said. I want to see if you can respond to Logan Paul or just address him in any way that you want. Yeah, just go for it.
All right, Logan. I appreciate you coming to the conference, but I was definitely disappointed with the movie that you made. You told everybody that you were making a documentary, and I haven't seen the documentary yet. And I want to challenge all straight-faced liars like NASA and Logan Paul to finally prove once and for all Earth is a spinning water ball.
No!
Can you do it?
No.
Yeah, that's the way I see like NASA guys, actors. They a lot of them actually have acting
Well, see, like
managers and agents.
Yeah,
that's
Is
what
that
I'm
other
acting
stuff
for
that
the
comes
booking,
out
for the
in,
booking
like,
and
the,
stuff. But
the videos and stuff is like information that like disqualifies, like the experts that we were talking about, sort of. like
Yeah,
things
I mean-
about people that are supposed to be experts that makes you like question, you know, them and how and
Just like
how they
watching
do
the
their
bloopers,
jobs.
you know, they have like microphones go through people's heads because, you know, the microphone's not really there. You know, little things like that. Or they disappear and, you know, a bunch of the equipment also disappears, but the background doesn't disappear.
Bro, that's aliens. I'm
Or,
just
you know,
kidding.
it could be a malfunctioning of the computers and the cameras, but, you know, if you look into it, but, you know, it's everybody's got to choose to go down that road and look into it like that.
All right, so as a final flat Earth thing, I'm going to say, I'm going to stick it out there.
Yeah.
I still think it's round, man.
Okay.
I'm still around.
Yeah, I didn't come
I
to
do too,
I
but
didn't
I
come
have
to
a new-
convince you. I just came to
I do
give
have a
you
new
what I got.
perspective
Yeah.
on like the way you think and why you think.
Yeah,
you
like
know, I do.
I don't think we'll be able to fall off the edge, or you know, anybody's gone
just-
to the edge of the earth.
I think you're a man with a lot of questions, and you
Yeah.
just want answers.
Yeah.
You know, and you go to, you know, different ends to find your answers.
Mhm.
Just like people do when they read the Bible, and just like they do when they read about witchcraft or whatever else. I think it's something you just.
Yeah, we're all trying to figure out
Exactly.
why we're here,
What
and
is the
what
truth,
we're doing,
you know?
and where the heck are we?
Actually,
It's
to
an
me,
interesting question.
to me, the Earth is shaped like a brick, a stack of fucking cash. Because
Shaped
I'm
like
raking it in.
Shaped like
Okay?
an
There you go.
avocado
There you
to
go.
me.
That's a good thing.
Fucking San Diego, yeah. All right, so
Mine is flat.
I'm gonna
Pancake for Chris.
end it like this. I just let's all of us share a memory from childhood about one another. Okay. Let's see. I remember when I was in 6th grade. Because here's the thing. When you know someone for so long, like when you first started to get into conspiracy theories, I had a big problem with some of the things that you believed. And we didn't talk for a while, you know? But now that we're linked up again and can have a conversation about this, I want to get into just some of the good times that have made this friendship so sturdy, you know? And I remember one time, well, it was much more than one time, where I was probably in 6th grade or 7th grade, and you were early in high school. And after school, we would walk together to Trudy B's. It was this restaurant that was set up, and they had this payphone. And we would walk there, and I would bring quarters, and I would call this girl from California. Her name was Lizzie.
California?
Right? Yep.
Oh wow.
And I met her
Bring
on
it
the
all around.
Charmander 31 chat.
Aw.
And I would just talk to her
Pokemaster.
real quick and then talk back. And you and I always talked about life growing up, you know. So it's cool to have you on my platform here talking.
Oh yeah. I'm so
Even
happy
if
to be here.
even if we drastically disagree with shapes, you know, boom. So no pressure, but if you have any beautiful memories to share about your boy, let them fucking rang out, yeah.
I don't know, you know, we just had some awesome sleepovers at your house, you know, watching Pet Cemetery.
Oh God, yeah.
And I
Fucking-
Pool
wasn't there,
table,
but
playing
y'all's
pool.
videos are really great that you guys
Yeah.
produced and made
Ah,
together
and you
acted
know,
in.
I always like pictured us, you know, being bros for life and
Yeah.
whatnot, you know, and working on things together forever and whatnot, you know.
His mom loves you. You know?
I love her too. She's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, Miss Shan is the
She's
best.
the shit.
She's the best. She's the best.
There can be peace between the flatties and the roundies, yo.
Hell yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely can. There better be,
And
otherwise.
here's proof right here.
Boom.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that's the thing too that I do want to say. Like, there's all this conversation like where it makes it seem like you can never have someone that you disagree with on your platform. Here's the thing: you're not hurting anyone. You know, like I don't mind talking to you about this at all. I thought the Logan Paul shit. I thought the movie was funny. You know.
I'll admit it was fun. There was a lot of funny scenes.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was
And
cool
at
to
the
see
end
you
of the
there.
day,
That's what I was
it'll
gonna say.
at
It
the
was
end
cool
of the
to
day
see.
it will get more people to look
They
into
did
it.
see your bars.
You know.
They recognized, you know,
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It was cool to
A
see
little
you
bit
there,
more
man.
recognition, but I didn't get any credit at all My name wasn't mentioned in the credits or.
Did you sign
in
a release though?
I signed my life away.
I knew he got you, yo. I
Three
knew
or four
it, man.
pages
He
of
was
it.
tricky about the whole thing. He was.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, I mean,
But I thought like,
this.
oh, I'd like my name
You
to be
were
shown
excited.
as Smiley
You were
Chris. You know, I
excited,
was talking to Danny, the girl, his manager or his assistant.
Yeah.
And she had me sign in. Yeah, okay, put me down as Smiley Chris or whatever.
Yeah.
I mentioned before,
hey,
it was
is
like
what it is.
he got you the way that Sacha Baron Cohen gets people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that's it. Does anyone have any final points to make here?
No, I think it was a great podcast. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
being
you
here.
got much respect for having people you disagree with, and especially since we're boys.
For sure, man.
Exactly. Plus, you're never really gonna find anyone that you agree with 100% on every single thing.
Of course,
It's true.
Of course.
So, I mean, at least we can agree.
Yeah, at least you allowed me to vent a little bit,
You gotta stop with that shit.
Wow.
Right.
And yeah, keep crushing it with the YouTube, man. I'm really proud of you.
Definitely.
Me too.
Yeah, you guys are turning out that content.
Appreciate
it's
you.
amazing.
All right,
Good
well,
stuff, entertaining.
right.
You guys
Thanks,
are the
guys, for being
dynamic
here.
duo with it.
Thank you.
we don't do outros anymore. We keep this shit real, uncut, unfucking circumcised, bitch.
You said that last time, and I can't believe you're sticking with that shit.
All right, so yeah, guys, check out my music video, Kyrie Irving's Earth Science Class by Smiley Chris. And I'm coming out with a new music video any day now. I was hoping to have it done today, but didn't happen.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Perfection takes time, bro.
Thanks for
Exactly,
watching.
exactly.
This has been the Space Between podcast. We out.
Bye.
Peace.
Space between.